I am for the first time. So here I am for the first time, showing off my mighty ZX-14R. Coming from a cruiser, specifically a M109R, which is a hell of a bicycle, of a motorcycle. I recently decided to add to my collection and buy a ZX-14. So this is a 2015, as many of you ZX-14 Pros have already noticed. 2,000 miles, 2015. Pretty much stock, except for the frame sliders that you all can see on the side. Just wanted to speak about my initial impressions of the bike as a new owner. First thing I gotta say is that I'm not gonna focus on how crazy fast the bike is. Everybody else says that. I don't think there's any point in me insisting on this part, except to add, or except to confirm, that it is mighty fast. It is mighty fast. This thing is fast. I'll just leave it here. I just don't get why, and maybe I will one day, but I just don't get why some people tend to focus on adding turbos or whatever to make it even faster. To me, that's completely fast enough. Almost too fast, too aggressive. Let me take that back. Almost too fast, not too aggressive. Which leads me to my second comment in this review, is that coming from a cruiser, M109R, which I still love, I found the ZX-14 exceptionally easy. Exceptionally easy to operate and control. This is actually a very, very docile machine if you keep the RPMs at a reasonable level. Buying it, I was a little concerned about jerkiness or my inability coming from a less powerful motorcycle, a bigger but less powerful motorcycle. I was a little less confident in my ability to control the bike. And it was actually quite the opposite. I found out on day one that my M109R was actually much more jerky, especially in first and second gear. It was much more jerky and much harder to control through the turns, especially at low speed maneuvering. I had never ridden a sport bike before, by the way. I come from a cruiser. I had a Honda Sabre. I have a M109R, and this is my third, if I'm not mistaken, my third motorcycle. So I was expecting something a little more, much more aggressive in the rideability, if that means anything. I did not get that. I got a smooth, buttery smooth motorcycle to operate, not jerky at all. Very easy to maneuver at low speed, well balanced. People have said it. I can confirm it. Extremely easy to operate. People tend to say that it's not a beginner's bike. You know, I would agree with one exception. It's that as long as you have throttle discipline, that you understand that a bike needs to be respected, you're not going to have any issues. Honestly, you're not going to have any issues. Keep the RPMs low for beginners. Take it easy, grow into the bike, get comfortable with it, understand how the bike reacts, study the RPMs, know where the engine torque really kicks in. Once you get that and you get familiar with the bike, you should be safe. I can completely understand why new riders would pick this bike. That being said, it requires discipline. If you don't understand this, don't get this bike. This requires throttle discipline. If you're not disciplined and you cannot control your eager to pick up speed, especially in turns, you're going to be SOL very quickly. Okay? You're going to crash this bike or hurt yourself or kill yourself, even worse. I'm not a speed person. To tell the truth, half of the reason why I bought this bike was for its style. I'm not kidding. The second half was because, people were talking about it so much that I said, you know what? Before I die, I have to at least experience this thing once. And this is it right here. I got myself a used 2015, I'm sorry, ZX-14 in the green color, which I wasn't fond of, but that ended up growing on me. It's dark. I'm in Maryland. It's about 8:30 p.m. now on June 14th or something like that, or 13th. I'm not sure what day we are today. 2018, and here I am, riding it. The weather's perfect, not too hot, not too cold. About 72, 73 degrees right now. Perfect riding weather. And I gotta tell you, this thing is a delight. People are not lying on the reviews when they tell you how much of a delight it is to ride, because it truly is a delight to ride. This is like nothing else. This is nothing like anything else I've ridden. Like I said, I had a Honda Sabre and I had an M109R. These are the two bikes that I've had before this one. I was particularly in love with the M109R, so much so that I regret selling it. I'm actually going to buy another one in the next 6 months, I believe. If I find a good deal, I'll get my hands on an M109R. It's very different from this. Sitting position is completely radically different. The gear ratios are different. Has a much more grunt. This is much more quiet, athletic type bike, but I love them both. I love them both so much that for the first time in my life, I'm actually going to buy the type of vehicle that I sold just a few days ago. So I'm actually in the market for M109R. If you guys are selling a 2014 to 2018, I'm looking. I'm a cash buyer, and I'm in Maryland. I like the yellow and black, and I also like the blue and black, the M109R Boss. But anyway, enough about this bike. I'm here to talk about the ZX-14. So this thing is really new to me. I'm only discovering it. I haven't emptied a gas tank yet, so I've only ridden it about 50 miles, I would say, max, if even that. So it's been raining a lot in Maryland lately, but this weekend is going to be sunny, and I will enjoy every piece of this motorcycle. And like I said, easy to ride. I really believe that someone with a little bit of discipline, especially someone who's driven stick shift cars with a little bit of discipline, can really grow into this bike. It's not the beast that people describe as far as jerkiness or difficulty to control. This is a bike that you can control. You just have to have, like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, throttle discipline, right hand throttle discipline. If you don't have that, then this is not the bike for you. If you're disciplined and you can control yourself, then this is the bike for you. That being said, it does pull, and it does pull pretty hard. I thought my M109R pulled hard, and it does, but this is completely in a league of its own. This thing pulls so hard. I mean, I haven't maxed out on the acceleration yet, and I don't intend to in a long time because I'm just not used to this kind of motorcycle. But it's scary how much this thing pulls. This is the first time that I ride a motorcycle where during my acceleration, and I'm not even coming anywhere close to being full throttle, nor would I dare doing it right now. But this is the first time on a motorcycle where when I accelerate, if I accelerate too hard, I can feel my body sliding backwards and my hands, the pressure of the handlebars in my hands to hold me from sliding backwards. And I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", football type build. And I'm just surprised how this little thing there, well, it's a big motorcycle, but how this little machine there moves around my body and my weight like it was nothing. I mean, like it's a joke, okay? The only things I'm gonna do to it is probably change the exhaust. Coming from a cruiser that's, that puts out a little more noise than this, I'm a little concerned that that riders or cagers, like we call them, might not hear me coming or see me, especially something as fast as this. So the pipes are going to change. Next video, you'll see different pipes. But again, I'm loving it. This is definitely a motorcycle I recommend, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I absolutely adore, well, I won't say adore, due to personal beliefs, but I absolutely like and so much enjoy this bike. It's just a delight. It's 8-9 p.m. My kids are sleeping, and I'm out riding, enjoying myself. The weather's perfect, and I gotta tell you, this thing is absolutely a delight to ride. People are not lying. This is the truth. This thing is a delight. Now, unfortunately for me, this is a sports bike and it's the first one I've had, so I don't have anything to compare it to. I really don't, except for cruisers. I am just shocked how long first gear is, how long the gearing is. I went on the highway earlier. I gotta tell you, I just don't understand. Sometimes, at least I haven't maxed out the bike, and 6th gear to me almost feels like an overkill. Coming from a cruiser, I mean the M109R had 5 gears. Occasionally I would feel like I need a 6th one. On this one, I mean there's so much, I don't know. It breathes so well that, you know, at 5th gear or 4th gear, you know, you can be past 100 miles per hour and the bike doesn't even feel like it's trying, like it's pushing. So, you know, I don't know. With the roads around here where I live, which is like a residential suburban neighborhood, I'm out here on the parking lot of a school, of a high school in Germantown, next to my house, Germantown, Maryland. And I gotta tell you, I haven't been on a road yet that has allowed me to open up this bike. This is how, I don't know, it just breathes well. I don't know how to say it. I'm not a pro when it comes to motorcycle, but first gear goes up so far. I mean, you can be in 60, 70 in first gear. Now, I don't ride that way, by the way, but I'm just shifting because I feel like it's time to shift. I'm not shifting because I feel that the motorcycle needs me to shift. On the cruiser, I could feel, you know, it was coming close to red line. You can tell when it's time to shift. When the bike, you know, is losing steam and the torque curve is going back down, and you can tell it's time to shift, or else you're just losing torque and just revving the engine for no reason. On this one here, I haven't reached that limit yet. I just shift because, I mean, based on the sound of the engine and how much noise it makes, I just shift. That's just a reflex. I got to re-educate myself to shift properly, because I don't think this bike is meant to be to be used in the way I'm using it. I'm still in cruiser mode, if I may say, and that needs to be changed. That needs to change. Anyway, just wanted to give you my first impressions. Love the bike. I think this is the kind of motorcycle that I will keep for a long time. The insurance rates are, this was a cash purchase. The insurance rates are a little, you know, high in my opinion for what it is. But you know what? It comes with, you know, it's a sports bike. I guess there's either a high theft rate or a high crash rate on those, so it is what it is. So be prepared if you're thinking about getting one. As far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm in love with the bike. Again, I'm looking for M109R Suzuki if you're selling, especially one that's not too clunky between first and second gear. Other than that, this is it for me. This is the first Kawasaki, the first sport or sport tour, whatever you want to call it, motorcycle I've owned. Not the last one probably, but my first impressions were absolutely fantastic. The guy, Tony, who sold it to me in Long Island, New York, if he sees the video, you know, he has a happy buyer here. Thank you for the purchase, for the deal. Great deal I got. I went to get it 200 miles away from home, and I don't regret it one bit. I didn't ride it. I put it in the back of a pickup truck, so I wouldn't add unnecessary miles to the bike, especially on a bike that I don't know very well, that I did not know very well, and that I'm still learning to know. But anyway, I love it. It's a delight. If you have the funds and the opportunity to get one, this is one of the things that, you know, like they say, one of the things that you must do before you die in your lifetime, ride a motorcycle. It's even better if it's a Kawasaki ZX-14R. Thank you for everyone. This is one of my first videos. I'm not a YouTube pro by any stretch of the imagination. Sorry if I repeated myself or if I've been, you know, inconsistent in my comments, but I'm about to go for a ride, and hope to, this is the first video, but it won't be the last. Thank you.